Yeah, where are all my people in the madhouse? I'll be a guide, climb aboard and sit your ass down. Don't worry, there's no need to fear when you hear. You know we're right here. We got the crew and we're ready for a game time. You're not ready to step inside a deranged mind. Yeah, this is what you came here for. We got machinima news and fuck yous. It's the goddamn ward.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wardcast. Every Monday we bring you the latest in video game news, talk about survival horror, machinima, and what's going on at the Ward. I'm one of your hosts, Shaun Clark, alongside Jazz Rich.
No, you.
And Alec Funnell.
Spock, this child is about to wipe out every living thing on Earth.
Where do you get these?
Now, what do you suggest we do? Spank it.
Wow, I thought it was over.
Oh,
Do you just like search random sound bites across the internet? What?
I think you figured that out by now.
Okay. Hey, look, I thought there was more depth to you.
Well, there could be if you want to look.
Gotta dig deeper. No YouTube fiascos or deep social issues to talk about this week, everybody.
God damn it, the Wardcast is cancelled.
It's over. We've reached the bottom. Or the top? I don't know. We'll go with the top. That sounds more positive. What?
I said, now what do we talk about?
How? I don't know. It's over. We do, however, have a decent amount of news to talk about, so we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, coronavirus.
Oh, fuck off.
Positive news here. Get ready for it. And we got some good old-fashioned games. Right? Right, Alec? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's dive right into our weeks. Jazz, how was your week? Jazz, how was your week?
what?
Alec, how was your week?
Jazz, how was your week? Can you hear us?
Can now.
Okay.
It was pretty lame. I didn't do much of anything. I missed a lot of work.
That sounds good.
And yeah. Yeah. I did play a game last weekend. Start to finish to platinum. But I didn't realize it's pretty short, so it's nothing to be too proud of.
Hey, it counts, okay?
Yeah, if my shit counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yours does not count. I just found out today that fucking Alex is helping him with his trophies.
Wow.
Look, I told you, Alex is helping with the forest, and I said I wasn't going to count it, so shut up.
Wait, well,
I bet if I hadn't asked you about it, you would have been like, I platinum the forest.
I was the first one to talk about it, so fuck you.
Well, how? Okay, look, we gotta set some guidelines here or something. So, what does it mean that he's helping you? Like, is he playing the game for you and unlocking the trophies on your behalf?
No, we're playing together.
Okay, that's fine. Like, you can, because otherwise any game that any of us play together wouldn't count, and some games require you to play with other people. So that's okay. It's just if you're having somebody else get the trophies for you, that's no bueno.
It's like, I'm not touching Bioshock. I just... No!
Wow.
Fuck off.
I can't believe you don't like Bioshock. That offends me.
I can't believe you do!
It's amazing!
Alec, I can't believe you didn't like Bioshock.
You know, part of the problem is the fact that it's aged. You know, we talk about that a lot with survival horror. If you didn't play it in the moment, because when it came out, it was super atmospheric and creepy, and like it had a cool story. But like in today's standards, all those have been reduced substantially compared to what we get today. So like if you're just playing it now, it's not the same game that it was back when it came out. So it's not really fair. So fuck you.
I didn't know it was a scary game.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like when that came out, it actually was like super creepy. But now when you play it, it's just like, God damn it. You played something else, Jazz. I know you did.
Yeah, I played Life is Strange 2. Story was good. I think the trophies were harder to get than the the first two Life is Stranges. Well,
Really?
like
Isn't it just
Well-
collectibles?
I feel like the game is longer. Like I was trying to play through the chapters and they were so long. I was like, how the fuck is this still going? And I'm like, crap, I'm only at episode 3. And it's good. And the characters are good, and I didn't think I would be into it because it's not the same characters, but there's a lot of Easter eggs and there's a lot of like mentions and stuff. So it's kind of cool. And I played that. Wait, I did play something else. Okay, you'll have to tell me. Apparently, I don't remember.
Wow. You played something
wait,
with
no, I got
me,
this.
you
I got
fuck.
Wow. The Forest?
Yeah. Jesus
Okay, yeah, we played The
Christ.
Forest. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Game.
Good to know you had fun. Jeez.
So, between when we played and today, I got 3 more trophies for that game. So just like about 25 years to go, and I'll have all of them.
Yeah, that game's gonna be a bitch.
Well, I had to put down a wall, like a super long wall, but it didn't have to be as long as I thought it did. So I went way too far, and then I had to destroy it.
Yeah, that was
I
the
helped
worst
you with that
part.
one.
Yeah. And there's one hiding in a mountain somewhere that I can't see. So the game keeps telling me to get 5 logs, and I'm like, well, what? For what?
Always have 5 logs.
Gotta
Forever.
build that mountain. Exactly. Just always carry them in your pocket.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I also tried a new game that I haven't tried. You're about to get really mad at me. Okay, let me just start off by saying I played this game not knowing any of it, not having played any other ones. I just felt like playing it, and I'm lost. I don't know where to go. The beacons in the game for the missions, they don't, like, you get there and they'll tell you what to do. You have to find like these dudes, but they're in general areas of the world. They're not of the city. I mean, they're
What
not.
game is it?
I don't know. I gotta continue talking. The controls are kind of easy to learn, but there's just so many different things to do, and I don't follow the story because, like I said, I didn't play any other ones. But if you were getting into a game like that, would you enjoy it?
I don't know what it is.
I mean,
I just described the
maybe. It
experience, not the game.
depends on are there things keeping me
Well, like,
interested?
right
Is
off-
the story
right off-
good? Does it play
Right
like
off the bat.
Well, it just depends. Those can work as long as there's other appealing things going on.
Well, the game should be fun right off the bat, man.
Nah. Wait.
Yeah,
Is
I played Arkham Knight.
How do you
I-
not
okay,
like
you know,
that
like-
game?
It's not that I don't like it; it's that it's fucking confusing, and I don't know where to go.
What?
And all it's telling me to do is shoot like robbers with my fucking tank, which, as enjoyable as that is, just stupid.
It depends on the mission too. Like most of the missions give you like they tell you exactly where to go. Like there's a waypoint that that goes like it points exactly to where you need to go until you get there. Like most of the game is like that.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple where it's like go to this area and do this thing, but I mean you're making it sound way worse than it actually is.
Because my waypoint told me to go somewhere, I went there, and then it just kept pointing there, and it wouldn't register that I was there. And
That's
it did that
weird.
to me like 3 times. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I tried to play Resident Evil 4 as well because I was like, well, if I'm going to give up on Batman, I might as well just try to play Leon. And
Leon,
then
man.
I kept dying in stupid ways. So it's just like, you know what? Nope. Nope. None of that. But that was like most of my time was spent trying to play Life is Strange 2 and like getting the things through my first playthrough. That way I didn't have to go back.
That fucking sounds
I kinda
familiar.
I kind of did a couple times. But hey, I want to make a machinima now with the Batman
Hey.
game, so
Oh, really?
know.
Wow. Who's going to be
Yeah.
Batman? You?
me,
Yeah.
Alec, because he does move away from the.
Am I going to be Alfred?
You gotta make him evil and British Batman.
What? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, T-Man, T-Man, T-Man.
Oh my god.
I don't know
The
what I was going with that,
bat
but
tea.
whatever.
Gotta get bat biscuits. Um, and then I watched Happy Death Day, which was basically Groundhog Day, and then I watched Groundhog Day,
Which was
which
better?
was which was basically Happy Death Day. And I watched some Western movie, which was good.
Sounds
I
amazing.
still haven't watched Castlevania. Yep. Yeah, and yeah, I think I don't know if it counts as update or not, but do you want me to just throw it here?
Yeah.
I've been recording scenes in a game. In it's not machinima.
What?
I'm recording scenes from Life is Strange Before the Storm because I'm making a music video, but I'm using
Oh.
a song that because my cousin released an album and he gave me permission because it's gonna give him like it's gonna push his record too. So I'm using a song and then I'm gonna like advertise his Spotify on it and yeah.
Awesome. Have you made a
'Cause-
music video before?
Yeah, but like I used to make Resident Evil mixes all the time, but like now I'd be like hit with copyright all over for that.
Yeah.
But I am like I'm pretty good at timing music and stuff, but Life is like his music matches the mood of Life is Strange so well. So I told him I'm like, can I use it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I want people to listen to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will watch the video, but I will watch it on mute.
Wow. I mean on Spotify. Okay,
Wait,
that's it.
what?
I want people to listen to him on Spotify, not just on that video.
Well, that's not how that works. You draw people in with your video, and then you send them over to the Spotify
But so
for
they
more.
can go listen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they still got to watch your video.
They don't gotta.
Oh my
They can just click the link on it.
Jesus.
Just watch the video, but like just the music.
So how's your first day on YouTube going?
What?
Nothing.
Wow. I'm done.
Alec, how was your week?
Well, it was a week. Speaking of Life is Strange, I'll start with this then. You might be into this, but I watched a new series on Netflix called I Am Not Okay With This,
Looks like crap.
Me too.
where the main character has a lesbian crush on her best friend, finds out she maybe has superpowers, and has daddy
Spoiler.
issues. It's just like Life is Strange in a way. It's just like,
Wow, spoilers.
oh,
Everybody
Come on.
has daddy issues. Or regular shoes.
it even says it on the fucking dialogue. For God's sake. But yeah.
No, I'm talking about
Jazz, give it
spoilers
up.
for the other one, Life is Strange.
Well, me and Jazz know about it.
Wow. Okay, I see.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler if 1 out of 1,000.
Yeah,
know
if the
about-
majority know, then fuck the other ones.
Hell, Jazz knows more about Life is Strange than I do now.
Yeah, because I got 3 platinums, bitch.
Oh,
By myself,
Right.
bitch.
Jesus.
But yeah, so I definitely recommend for you to check out I Am Not Okay With This. You might like it, Jazz. I mean, and
Maybe.
Sean, if you've watched it, then you'll probably like Life is Strange. So get on it, finally, for fuck.
I'm like 95% sure that I'm going to like Life is Strange. Hence why I bought like all of them already. One of them twice. So,
Gee.
I mean, I will.
Don't tell him to play that yet, though. He still has to play Plague's Tale first.
But I haven't bought that. It needs to go on sale.
It's always...
It's not sale enough. $20. I will get it for $25. Okay, I'll compromise, but it's got to be
What?
physical.
Oh. I was like, what?
That's the thing. I haven't seen it drop below $30 in physical.
Wow.
I'll
You
get
should
it.
come buy it here. It's always below 30 here.
What else, Alec?
I watched some more Smallville, and
Oh boy.
Alex really wants me to announce how much he despises and how much he rages over the episode where Lois became the Egyptian woman that trying to resurrect her lost love and all that crap. And he's just like, he's raised quit the show, I think.
It's funny because
I
that
mean,
same thing happened in Buffy.
yeah,
Well,
I
kind
mean, I'm not. I'm just like I'm gonna finish it off, but it's getting so fucking difficult to watch.
Yeah,
with the fucking...
those last 2 seasons were really tough to get through, especially the last one. Ugh.
God, I mean, filler episodes are just like, just get it on with, just make the season 6 episodes or something. I don't care. Yeah, I can't wait to finish it. Just like, there, I've done it. Fuck it off. But yeah. So I played The Forest as well, but not with you guys.
I see how it is.
We know.
I have my own person to play with, so.
Wow. We're people too.
Look, I will need you to help, as I need to get one more online trophy anyway. So yeah, we'll get that.
Did you just hear what he said? I have my own people to play with, although I will need your help.
I know.
I'm glad you heard. Right, anyway. Okay, well, that's what I do. So yeah, I played that. I cut down like 1,000 trophies. 1,000 trophies, 1,000 trees.
I was gonna say, wait, what? Did you just quit work and just constantly playing games full time?
Well, that's the goal, right?
You're right.
But I also played the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo.
Oh, look at you.
Mm.
What did you think?
All right, I had to say...
Whoa!
No, this is good. I was on the fence with it before even, clicking start. Because when you press start and you hear the intro song, you're just like, oh my god, I want to play this shit.
It's so good.
It is. I'm like, oh my... And that was enough for me to go, like, okay, let's play. So after about 10 minutes of listening to the intro, I was like, right, let's play. And yeah, the demo, wow, it is graphically amazing. But I'm not entirely sure on the whole battle play of it. There's no times anymore. It's just, it's more like Final Fantasy 13 wise.
So it's a movie.
Oh, wow.
Well, it even has stagger on it, and you just think, well, where did I first see that? 13.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a modified version of that.
Yeah.
Which everybody
fine.
loved.
Yeah, well...
What the fuck?
Well, now everyone is liking 13 again, because for 13, not the sequels, because... But it's nostalgia for it now. I mean, yeah. But anyway, yes, I do want to play it, and yes, I do want to get it. So it's a thumbs up from me, but probably won't get it until, it's cheaper and everything's all there.
So in 2030, you're going to get it?
So when it's released for the PS5 collection.
Yeah.
Question.
Answer.
Was the demo in 3 parts?
That would have been awesome.
No. I'm guessing, Shaun, you might have played the demo, did you?
I might have a couple things to say about that.
Okay, well, I'll finish off with, I'm not the little boy that I used to be. I'm all grown up now. Baby, can't you see? Shawnee's mum has garlic going on.
No. Wow.
She's all I want, and I've waited for so long. Shawnee, can't you see? You're just not the man for me. I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Shawnee's mum.
Wow.
John,
That is terrible.
how's your mum?
Oh, wow, she's fine. I watched more of The Office. What did I watch? Something else. Oh, I watched about half of this movie. Wow, of this gangster movie called The Irishman. And I tapped out though because it was just, I don't know, it was really slow and I wasn't feeling it at the time. But like, it was one of those big movies that everybody was talking about, and it's up for 1 million awards and probably won a bunch and blah blah blah. And the big reason I wanted to see it though is because I guess they were doing this like de-aging technology on a lot of the actors that was supposed to be like groundbreaking, amazing technology, and it is pretty cool. Like, it looks incredible. You can still, like, there's moments where it looks completely legitimate, I guess, depending on the lighting of the scene. Sometimes you can definitely see it and it looks very weird. But it's interesting to kind of see that technology evolve and stuff like that. Like, they've used that similar technology, like putting Arnold in some of the Terminator movies, and they used it in Star Wars for like Princess Leia and whatnot. And sometimes it's super cringy and awkward and terrible, but it is getting better and better to the point where eventually we are going to be able to like put young versions of actors in movies even though they're old. And it's kind of a weird idea and kind of scary to see like what that's going to look like in the future. So that's really why I wanted to see it, just to kind of see that technology and how far that we've come. It's definitely interesting. But the movie was boring as shit. I normally don't mind like gangster, like crime drama kind of movies, but I don't know. I guess maybe I just have to be in the mood for it, and I wasn't. I'll probably go back to it at some point.
Face, bitch.
That movie is 3.5 hours.
Oh, fuck that shit.
God damn. And when like a superhero movie is like that, it's more tolerable because you have a balance of like slow moments and action, and there's more drawing you in and keeping you absorbed in it rather than just mellow tones all the way through. Like, I just want to go to sleep. It's just not a good idea. But anyways, it's fine. I'm sure it's good. I mostly played one whole game this week, which you guys probably know what that is.
Step in.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
God damn it. But first, I played a little bit of the Forest with Jazz, even though she doesn't remember. We got a few trophies on there. I think I got two trophies, maybe 3. I didn't die and lose all my shit, so, you know, it was actually fairly enjoyable.
You actually saved it this time?
Yeah. I actually stopped at a point where I was satisfied instead of being completely fucking pissed off. So that's progress, you know? And I'm actually willing to go back to it and because it was enjoyable. So we'll see what happens next time. No promises there.
Next time.
Jazz, he's learned.
Wow.
And he saved my life like 5 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job.
But mostly, I played Yakuza 1 HD. I finally got the goddamn platinum, which I think is my first platinum trophy on a Yakuza game, because those games are a fucking nightmare to do since there's so much shit in those games. Good God. But most of the time I try to get a platinum trophy on those games. I hit like the 80% range, which is just kind of like a slap in the face, because it's like, ha, you almost did it, but guess what? You got to start over from fucking square one, bitch. So it's like the least satisfying thing in the world. It's like either you get that platinum or you just feel like you wasted all your time. I mean, playing the game is great and all, but like when you're going for the platinum, it just, I don't know, it stresses me out. I don't like it. But yeah, so I had to play through the entire game a second time, get 50 locker keys, and redo 55 of the 72 sub-stories again to get that one fucking trophy that I missed. The things that trigger these events are so specific that if you do anything wrong or at the wrong time, you could easily miss something. It's fucking stupid. It depends on the chapter that you're in, what time of day it is, what sub-stories you've done so far, in what order, and just all these factors come into play as to whether this NPC is going to be in this area or not to start the sub-story. It's the dumbest shit in the world. Like, to get everything, you almost have to play with a guide. I fucking hate that. Just put the goddamn side missions in there and let me play them whenever I feel like it. Or, I mean, I understand even separating them by chapter, fine. But having all these little factors in that pretty much guarantee that you're going to miss some of these unless you play with the guide, like, why? Who is that for? Is that really appealing to anybody? The only people, well, nobody's benefiting from it because, like, the developers are, like, they're making this content for people to experience, and a lot of people aren't even seeing it because they don't even know it exists because you can't find it. It's the worst. But yeah, I finally did it. So happy. But yeah, I nearly had to complete that game 100% 2 times. And just doing it once is an ordeal. What a pain in the ass. But I committed to it. I did it. Get fucked. Now I have to do it all over again with Yakuza 2. Fuck. I also played Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo. Woo! And
What did you think?
I have mixed feelings. I'm super duper excited about it. Like you said, it looks incredible. Like most things, it doesn't look as good as the reveal that they did because, you know, that's just the case. But still, looks absolutely incredible, especially when you compare it to the shitty original.
The blocks.
Yeah, the fucking shitty pot pie shaped characters, and oh god, that game is a nightmare. If there was one game that needed a remake, it was Final Fantasy VII. That game is just it's unbearable at this point, visually at least. But yeah, I mean, fuck, graphics are incredible. The thing that sucks the most is, like you were talking about, the gameplay, because it's almost on autopilot. It's like hold square or tap square periodically, and that's the gameplay. You know, there's a little bit of menu navigation to like go into your magic and your items and stuff like that. So it's kind of like they mixed ideas of what 7 used to be originally and, like you said, Final Fantasy 13, and gave us this weird, unsatisfying hybrid of the two. And maybe it gets deeper, like the more you play and whatnot, but I don't know, just the little bit that they had in there, I really wasn't enjoying the gameplay part of it, which is a big blow, because if you're not enjoying the gameplay of a video game, that's probably not a good sign. But the way that they're handling the story is fantastic. It's very, like, there's a lot of new stuff that they added to the game, which is cool, but they still kept it very true to the original. It kind of reminds me of how they did, you know, like Resident Evil 2 Remake a little bit in that regard. It's like they took those environments, they changed them up a little bit, but they're still recognizable. So I like that. I like the more true that they stay to the original, the more I appreciate it. And as long as the elements that they add to it, the new stuff is like fits in there well, like I can really appreciate that. And they're doing a really good job on that so far. They kind of changed the characters a little bit from how they were in the original game. But again, what they did so far, they're all good improvements. Like they're adding more depth. The dialogue that they put in there that wasn't in the original is all good. It's good. It's fucking awesome.
I like that Barrett swears every now and again.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the fence with the voice acting. I feel like they tried to make it a little bit cheesy just to kind of keep it tethered to the original on some level. But it comes across weird because like the production of everything scaled up so high that to not see the voice acting go up with it it's a little off-putting.
I'm fine with Cloud, but
Cloud's Barrett's the worst. He's the worst part.
Sounds off.
Yeah, because he's very anime, like over the top.
But then it's very hard to picture what Barrett would sound like in respect that you don't hear him in the original. You don't hear any of in the original, but
and
so when you go back to Kingdom Hearts, the Cloud, fine.
Yeah, that made that transition a little bit easier. But that's the thing. That's kind of why I'm not hating on it, because I feel like that's exactly how he would have sounded had that game been voiced. but that game is also very old. So it's weird. I kind of get it, but I also wish that they just made everything sound better, more believable, and just up the quality rather than trying to make it more like the original. But it's fine. I think it'll be okay. I just need to get used to it because it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, no, I could just already feel it though, playing that it's going to stop in a place where I'm going to be completely unsatisfied. And then you're going to have to wait like 2 to 3 years to play the next chapter. And it's going to taint the experience, and I'm not really looking forward to that. And it's always going to be in the back of my mind because I know, like, oh, this is only going to be in Midgard, and once that ends, like, that's not going to be a satisfying point to end the game, because I know what's next, and I know all these cool things that are supposed to happen that I'm going to want to experience in this game, and I'm just not going to get that.
How far did you get in the demo?
I beat it.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I lost the red scorpion thing.
Yeah, that battle was tough. And it's weird. It's a very simple combat system, but it does have layers of depth to it where, like, timing is important, and different enemies do have weaknesses and approaches that you need to, like, if you approach an enemy in the right way, you're going to kill them a lot faster, like attacking from behind or using the right character, or like the limited amount of moves you have, if you use those in the right order or at the right time, you do end up killing the enemies quicker. So there's strategy in there. I just don't like how simple and basic the controls are. Like, I don't know. It's more than a turn-based RPG, so in that regard, I guess it's an improvement. But it'd be nice to see more.
There's one other thing I didn't like about it.
What's that?
The X button. It just didn't feel like that should be, the function for the X button in that game. I mean, I get, because, like, I don't know why ultimately when I pressed X, it just kept coming up with command. I was like, no, I don't want it to be like that. Had it been like triangle or something, yeah, all right. But
that is kind of weird. You can probably change it, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The game, I'm looking forward to it. It's just going to take a while to get used to it.
Yeah, for sure. But honestly, I think I'll like it. But I feel like I'll be equally disappointed, but also enjoy it a lot. Just because I know what it is. And there's going to be things that are missing, and I'm not going to get the full experience. And they've talked about how they're focusing on quality over quantity, implying that they're going to be doing away with a lot of the side stuff and extras and just focusing on making certain elements better. And that's cool and everything, but I'm going to miss those things because the nostalgia, I'm waiting to see these things and they're just not going to be there. So it's going to be a roller coaster because there's going to be a lot of really enjoyable things I can already tell, and things that I'm just going to be really disappointed in. But that's the name of the game when you remake something, it's just, it's never going to be perfect. It's not going to be exactly what you're expecting. So I'm glad it exists. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good. Yeah. I've already pre-ordered mine. Ooh. I think that was all. Oh, but going back to Yakuza, kind of an updatey thing. Since I had to go back through the entire game of Yakuza, I decided that I'm going to do a machinima for it. So I recorded the entire game and like tied in the the gameplay pieces to kind of form a narrative. So I have all the footage that I need. I just need to chop it up and write a story for it, and I have the entire thing. So
there you go, Danielle Wolf. You got more parody coming your way.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow. But this will be cool too, because this will be one of the first things that I can focus as a full project, because I have from beginning to end. So I can write the whole thing and record the whole thing and cut it into episodes and then release it on a schedule. So it'll kind of be like a test run for that method, which is what I wanted to do with everything going forward. So it's an important step to kind of toy with that and see kind of how that works. So yeah, I'm excited to mess around with that. Yeah. And there's a lot of roles in that game too, so should be able to get everybody involved in it. So it'll be cool. It'll be good. It'll be
How are you gonna get a
cool.
British guy if they're all like Asian?
It'll make it even better when they are British.
It's true.
They're brazen.
Asian.
Asian. It's time for some news.
Yeah, let's move on to.
Why is there an explosion?
It wasn't. That was the sound of a spear being thrown.
What?
Breaking news.
Just don't judge me. Go with your news.
That makes total sense. We have 6 stories this week.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But none of them are Corona.
Well, they're all Corona. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck.
Well, they could have been. This actually would have been like 12 stories if I hadn't merged some. But anywho, first up, Dino Crisis Remake and Resident Evil Code Veronica Remake are not happening.
I'm leaving.
I don't want to be on this planet anymore.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is a rumor.
No.
Like much of the news these days. Yeah, I said that. Fuck you.
Many
much. So the emotional roller coaster of the Dino Crisis remake takes another turn, at least if rumors are to be believed. Highly vocal and reliable info leaker Aesthetic Gamer had the following to say, quote, "A Code Veronica remake is not in production right now, not even in pre-production. A Dino Crisis game actually was started a few years ago, but then scrapped and buried, and the franchise is now still extinct for the time being." So again, that is a rumor, but it is from a reliable source, so he's been pretty accurate. Yeah.
Dinos.
Oh no.
Dinos.
But yeah, that's unfortunate. Like Code Veronica would have been cool, but that's never something that's really been on my radar. There's been a little bit of rumors floating around, but Dino Crisis has been something that's been coming and going all the time, and like it seems like some of the development team want to do it, and it's like they try to get it to go somewhere and then it falls off, and I don't know. And it's hard to say too, because I don't think that there's really a big market for it, even though I want it. I want to buy it. I would buy all the game. I would buy any iteration, whether it's just like remastering the old games and putting them on a collection, or doing a remake, or doing a sequel. I would buy anything that's Dino Crisis, but I think you guys would too, but I feel like there's not, like most people aren't like that. There's not a big market for people that are going to run out and buy the hot new Dino Crisis game. So from a business, it's hard to justify doing something like that, because the cost and the time that it takes to make something like that, it's got to justify the means. Otherwise, they're just wasting their money. And that could also be a strike against them too, creatively, because like people that aren't into Dino Crisis are like, oh, Capcom made that shitty Dino Crisis game, and that might, put some doubt in people, when they release a new game, and they're like, I don't know, I didn't really like, or I wasn't interested in that last game that they released. So I get it, but just do it anyway. I just want it. Do it for me. What would be cool is if they did like a Kickstarter. I don't normally like that, but at least it would give them the money up front, right? So it's like, okay, there's a demand for this or there's not. And if there's not, then, no harm, no foul. They don't have to make the project. Nobody has to spend their money. But if there is a demand and they reach their goal, they've already got their money, right? So it's kind of a win-win. So I wish they would approach it at least that way, but yeah. They're not going to.
No.
And Kickstarter's just scary, because most games that come out of that, even if they are successful, they're problematic. There's always some kind of issue or delay or a promised feature that doesn't happen. There's always some kind of fuck up. So I would
number 9.
Yeah. So it would be nice to steer clear of that, but I would rather them at least attempt to do that than just not do another Dino Crisis game. But we'll see. Maybe they'll do a bunch of remakes that do really well, and they'll run out of things to remake, and they'll be like, well, fuck it, we'll go for it.
I just want to know if they did, if they ever did, would they make the dinosaurs out of feathers?
No.
Out of what?
Please, no.
No.
Dinosaurs have feathers.
Oh,
Yeah.
out of feathers? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Historically accurate.
It's not what I heard.
They have dicks.
Dicks with feathers. Fluff. Oh no. Okay. Second item. Dead or Alive continues its disgusting approach to DLC. Koei Tecmo has implemented the option to change hair color for your fighters in Dead or Alive 6. The bad news is it will cost you about $2 to do it each time. You need to buy premium tickets in packs of 2 or more to change hair color, and once you change their hair color, you cannot revert back without buying another ticket. Also, if you lose your save data for any reason, all the hair color changes that you made will revert back to the normal state, and you will have to rebuy all the colors again. Wow. That is fucked up.
I'll stick with Tekken.
Right? It's also worth noting that currently Dead or Alive 6's DLC price to own everything available is around $900, plus the cost of the game. And they're not done releasing DLC yet. And this doesn't include the microtransactions such as changing your hair color. What a fucking mess. So tired of this shit. Fucking video games, man. I miss the simple days. Back in my day. Third story. Bloodstain Ritual of the Night drops one of its Kickstarter stretch goals nearly 5 years after the campaign. How fitting. If you were a backer of the Kickstarter back in 2015, this is probably a frustrating moment for you. The game director Koji Igarashi promised a roguelike, procedurally generated castle mode once the $5 million milestone was hit. They did, in fact, hit that goal, and backers have been waiting nearly 5 years for this content. And apparently, it's been canceled. Igarashi said, quote, "The code that was created early in the game's development is not currently compatible with this type of gameplay, especially a procedurally generated castle." So why'd you promise it? Like, what the fuck? Shouldn't they have figured this out beforehand? And built
end game.
And wow. And built the
Just
game
build a new one?
with, I mean, they would have to recode the entire game. But here's the thing. So when they're making these promises of things that they can implement into the game, when you're developing the game, shouldn't you build it with these things in mind? Like, how is that a fucking reason? Sorry, guys, we coded the game wrong. So even though you gave us $5 million, we can't put that in there. Sorry.
We can't
What?
fix it.
When
Yeah,
there's
well, so
$5 million
code.
involved, you better fucking remake the game or do whatever the fuck you need to do to implement what you promised the people that you're taking their money. Like, how can you just be like, oh no, we can't do that, sorry.
Oh no.
I wonder how
Oops.
Stadia is doing.
Not good. And I'm happy about it. I hope it continues to do fucking terrible. But anyway, in exchange, there will be an option to randomize aspects of the game, such as enemies, items, and treasure chests placement within the existing castle. But it's a pretty pretty poor substitution for what was promised for raising $5 million. That's nuts. This is why Kickstarter is bad. I wish that the company was a little bit more involved in enforcing the promises that the company makes. But whatever. I'm sure that's a nightmare, you know, being in the middle of the exchange of all this money and companies and all these people involved. I get why you wouldn't want to be involved in that, but these things happen so frequently that something needs to be done. Like, there's got to be some kind of structure to enforce these promises that are made, especially when you're talking about millions of dollars. There should be some accountability there, I would think.
Perhaps we should rename to Kick in the Bollocks Starter.
There you go.
Dick starter.
Kicking the dick starter. Number 4. The original director of Final Fantasy VII wants to do a new Parasite Eve game. Yoshinori Kitase, the original director and producer of Final Fantasy VII, expressed in an interview that he would like to do something new with the long-dormant franchise. He had this to say, quote, "The characters are deep and rich, especially Ea Brie. I don't know of any plans right now, but it would be a waste to not use those characters. Horror games are very popular now, and Parasite Eve had some RPG elements to it. It was very original and unique, so I think now is a good time. Parasite Eve has a very unique gameplay style, and there are no games like it right now." Have you guys played Parasite Eve?
Yeah.
Did you
Yes.
not like it?
It was fine. It was just when I first started to play it, it's one of those games that you just knew you'd had to spend fucking hours and hours.
It's
and
an
hours.
RPG.
Yeah, but I just don't have the time for RPG
Look,
anymore.
I can totally relate to that, but still, it doesn't mean that it's not good. Like The Witcher 3 is a fucking time sink. All the Yakuza games are a time sink, but that doesn't make me just not want to play them or make it so that I can't appreciate them for what they are.
I like the third birthday. Let's just put it that way.
What? All right.
I just think it's funny
What?
because I literally right before the podcast connected my PS3 in my room so I could play the old PS1 games I have on there.
Yeah.
And I was actually looking at Parasite Eve that I had started at one point, and I was like, "Oh, I should play it." And I'm like, "I should machinima it."
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that you bring it up because when I first played that game, my roommate heard me. I spent the entire time just constantly shooting people, going, "Fuck off, I'm a cap," and like that's all I think every time somebody mentions that game now.
Yeah, that's one I've always wanted to do too, because I mean there's no recorded dialogue in there at all too, so I don't know. Just always made me want to do something
What do you
with
mean?
it.
There's no recorded out?
There's no voice.
Yeah, there is.
Or I don't remember
The
that.
characters speak.
In the first
Not-
one?
Yeah. Don't they?
No.
I thought there was like isn't there like cutscenes and stuff?
Yeah.
Am I
There's
what? Okay.
Yeah,
I could be confusing it with that shitty PS2 game.
Damn it, now you have me doubting myself. Fuck.
I'll check. Don't worry.
Let me know. Let me know next week.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. Cuz yeah, I'm super sure that there's no dialogue or no audio. I don't
You know what? I will check. I will research that, and I will announce my findings at the next podcast.
That's what I said. Good.
I just elaborated.
Confirmation.
I could find out right now, but I'm gonna make you wait.
Right
a
in the
week.
comments.
Wow.
Sean Strong.
Got to build the suspense. What did you say?
Nothing.
I will fucking murder you. I will hear it later when I'm editing. Just tell me.
Something about being British.
Me?
No, him.
I knew
I
it.
was gonna say, when did this happen? I've been British this whole time and I didn't even know. Fifth story. The Last of Us movie has been canceled in favor of a TV series.
Oh,
Yeah. The Last of Us director Neil Druckmann will be teaming up with Chernobyl TV series creator Craig Mazin for a TV adaptation of The Last of Us for HBO.
ooh, hobo.
Yeah. Hobo. Wow, it's not H-O-B-O,
Wait, excuse me. You mean it's not going to be a Netflix original?
right?
What? I don't want to watch it.
Fuck that. It belongs on HBO.
I don't have
HBO?
TV.
What the fuck is HBO?
Hobo.
HBO. But no, the fact that it's on HBO has me like super excited because it needs HBO for this. I mean, I understand Netflix, they can do whatever they want. They can make super mature content or whatever. It doesn't have like network restrictions, which is good. But I feel like HBO just has, I don't know, a more edgy
A life.
wow. But no, it's like you think HBO and it's like fucking Game of Thrones, violent, nudity,
Yeah, how well
sex,
did that
murder,
end?
whatever. Look, it started strong, okay? But the thing is, Neil Druckmann is going to be heavily involved in the creation of the series, and he's going to be, I don't know if he's writing it on his own or if he's co-writing it, but he's going to be involved in making it. So since he wrote and directed the games and that story, he's going to be directly involved in retelling it for this HBO series. So there's a strong chance that it's going to be perfect. Like it's going to be his vision retold in another platform. He's still going to be the person running the entire thing, or co-running it, but still.
Zombie thing.
Wow. And it's good too, because they're not just doing like a sub story. This is going to be Joel and Ellie's story, just retold in a cinematic, or not a cinematic way, but in a different medium. So hopefully it stays true to the game. I'm sure it will, since he's involved, but I'm super excited. What do you guys think? Are you excited? Are you glad that it's not going to be a movie and it's going to be a TV show? Do you not give a shit about The Last of Us like everything else that I love?
One thing. No, it's pretty cool.
I just think it's be too soon. Another zombie thing. It's just like, can't we just?
They're not zombies.
Can't we just kind of kill that off for a little while?
No, I like wow.
Did I say that out loud?
There's enough variety out there that I feel like you can still make good quality zombie stuff. Like, they don't need to stop making those in general. Like, there's plenty of content out there. If you don't want to play zombie themed stuff or horror themed stuff, you don't have to. There's other stuff. So fuck you, stuff. Take your stuff and stuff it up your ass.
Stuff it up your stuff.
Wow, you just said that to me? Okay. Next story.
Now it's time for the coronavirus corner. Sixth and final story. Let's go through a quick rundown of all the newly affected projects and events this week as coronavirus continues to ravage the planet. What?
Yay.
When you said that, I just picture like a huge list of like companies crashing, scrolling up with like a do 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 do. Let's go over who's been affected this year.
All sports are cancelled.
I would put that music in here, but copyright, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
We can't. We're not allowed.
YouTube's gonna edit me out.
We could do our own shitty rendition, like you were just doing.
Wow, you can call me shit.
I mean, amazing remix edition. We could do that.
Fuck off.
Wow.
It's been said.
No takesy backsies.
No back seats.
No. What?
What?
Okay. South by Southwest, the annual music and arts festival, which also features video games and entertainment, will be canceled for the first time in 34 years. MGM is delaying the new James Bond movie by 7 months at a potential $30 to $50 million loss. Due to the coronavirus, theaters around the world have been temporarily closing because of the spread of the virus, which could produce highly reduced box office revenue for the film. What are you laughing at, you fuck?
James Bond has been delayed because of the coronavirus.
Well, I mean, yeah. Konami's TurboGrafx 16 Mini, which is along the lines of the NES Classic and the PlayStation Classic mini consoles, will be delayed due to the virus. Quote, the manufacturing and shipping facilities in China have encountered an unavoidable suspension due to the current coronavirus outbreak. As a result, the delivery of all PC Engine Core Graphics Mini products, which was originally scheduled for March 19th, 2020, will be delayed until further notice, Konami said in an official statement. Emerald City Comic Con has been postponed. Eve FanFest is canceled. TwitchCon Amsterdam is canceled. And the F8 conference has also been canceled. It's getting pretty serious out there, everybody. So make sure you keep clean, you wash your goddamn hands often, and you stay safe.
I mean,
have you guys actually, when you go out and your towns or whatever, have you seen anyone wearing a mask yet?
That's the weird thing. I'm not seeing anybody wearing masks, but nobody has them in stock. They're completely sold out everywhere you go.
I've seen one. There was one person that got on a bus, and I was just like, I kind of wanted to snip the mask off and just grow into it.
Yeah, I mean, it is getting kind of scary. Like, a lot of shit is happening because of this, so
Oh, we'll be fine.
I hope so.
Yes, we will be.
I
People
mean,
just being
people
stupid.
people do panic and they start buying like all these things. And yeah, like I went to the grocery store to get some aspirin for my mom, and all the pain medicine, all the pain medicines that were there were just completely cleaned out. There was just like,
Give
like
me pain.
what?
You said pain medicines. Like, do you mean pain relief?
Sure. Yeah, just like
It's
aspirin
same
and
thing.
Tylenol and ibuprofen, like all these things are just completely sold out. All that's left is like the leftovers of the one-offs that people didn't want. Like people are just freaking the fuck out. And that's typically what happens, people will buy up all the water and whatever, the masks and stuff like that. Like these specific things will get cleaned out because people are paranoid. But like with this, we're seeing it on a much bigger scale because you're seeing all these events getting canceled and postponed and manufacturing shutting down and movies delayed. Like this isn't your typical reaction from a new virus strain or whatever. It is a much bigger deal than it typically is. So it's definitely concerning, but fuck. Just be clean. Come on.
Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna carry on like normal.
I'm gonna live my life dirty.
Yeah.
Wait. So I thought we'd be. That's the end of the news. I thought we'd be a little bit further along. So I didn't have a survival horror or a machinima topic. Is there anything that you guys would like to discuss since we do have the time to do it? Let me just put you on the spot.
Survival horror is
Good.
scary and going. It survives,
It does it.
but I hope so.
Let's talk about that. Like survival horror is kind of a different thing than it used to be upon its inception, right? So it's more actiony and things like they don't use the methods that they used before with like Silent Hill had like the fog because tech limitations and that turned into a thing, and you had your limited controls and like all these, like it was a very different beast back in the day, where now it's more like first person driven and it just feels very different. Like even Resident Evil 2, they approach that in more third person, a little bit more action oriented and whatnot. So how do you feel like survival horror is in today's climate? Like do you think you enjoy it as much as you did back in the day, or are you just kind of feeling a little disenchanted by where things are at right now, or do you still enjoy it like you used to?
It's not the same.
Yeah. But do you still like it? Like do you still feel like you're like heavily invested in it, or is it just like not as appealing as it once was?
I would say I'm pretty much the thing that's keeping me going is pretty much you guys.
Wow.
Because I look at survival horror nowadays and I just yeah, okay. I mean, RE2 remake did not scare me one bit, and I'm just like, okay.
He's like, I got it in.
I feel personally that I see survival horror as different than what it actually is, and I feel kind of not biased, but like my opinion doesn't make that much impact, because if you look at like Resident Evil 1, you get shoved in a mansion and you got to find a way out, and there's monsters and you don't know who's your friend and shit like that, right? And then that's survival horror. That's like you have to survive and it's horror. Then you look at like Revelations, because I have gotten in arguments with people who are saying like it's not survival horror, and I'm like, okay, but you get put on a boat and there's monsters and you can't get out and you have to survive. Like it's the same. Like people who will argue that Resident Evil 4 is more survival horror than Revelations, I'm like,
yeah, that's not true.
How?
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Exactly. They're like, well, they're more zombies because they're like villagers, or I'm like, but no. there wasn't just zombies in Resident Evil. Like survival horror is not just zombies. That's what it seems to be now. And like it's hard to find a more original thing because everybody who's trying to do remakes of classic horror games gets shat on because it's not the same. It's like if we wanted the same game, we would just fucking play the same game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that's what I mean. People have a different view on what survival horror is. Like to me, if you're playing a game where there's jump scares, it's not survival horror. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's. That's not survival horror, right? That's what I mean. Would you count that as survival horror?
In my mind, I would say no. But like, if you're just looking at it for like the terms of what that means, it kind of is because it is horror, right? You're getting scared for whatever the method they're using is. They are scaring you. They're popping out and scaring you, and there's that tension there, and you're literally trying to survive, right? You're trying to survive the night, so you're hitting the buttons, trying to keep the whatever the machine monster things out. So I feel like it's on a level it's debatable that yeah, it kind of is, but when you talk about survival horror, at least for me, I think about the origins of it. You know, back in the day, like what was it back then, and what did that look like? And we've talked about what that is. You know, it's limited controls, it's item management, it's running away instead of, you know, being put into the position where you're like frightened and you don't have the resources you need to do the run and gun. So you've got to run and survive and, you know, figure out how to get through this maze or whatever. You know, it used to have a very distinctive gameplay mechanic and style, and it used to have a very specific theme. And since that's where it came from and that's what I've known, when I think survival horror, that's what I think of. But I don't know that that's necessarily fair because different generations have grown up with different variations of that. And, you know, the description of what survival horror is does still align with these new styles and these first person games and whatnot. But it's just very different. It's, you know, it's a different generation of survival horror, I guess. And it's just not what people like us are necessarily looking for. I can still appreciate bits and pieces of what the newer stuff does. But at the end of the day, I want what I've, you know, grown up enjoying and what my perception of survival horror has always been. And that just kind of died out. And I understand why. You know, you can't just keep making those games forever and ever. People get burnt out. And that's why Resident Evil evolved as a franchise too. And it came from necessity. You know, if they could make millions of dollars over and over again for releasing the same kind of games, they would do it. You know, why wouldn't you do it? But that's just not how things work. People, you know, they get bored and they want something different. And it's just like a lot of the mentality these days, and has been for a while, is like when you release a game and then you make a sequel and it's not dramatically different from the first one, a lot of people complain. But to me, it's like, well, why did you like the first one again in the first place if you didn't want more of that? You know, you should
terrible voice acting.
I mean, there's appeal to that though. Like it's nostalgic and it's enjoyable for like on its own level. Just like I kind of appreciate some of the indie space horror games where they're making these like PS1 style horror games with the bad voice acting and the limited controls, because there's still enjoyment to be had even with the shitty aspects of it and the bad voice acting. It's still like that's something that I could appreciate back in the day, and I can still do that today because it's something that I'm passionate about and nostalgic about. But they can't release that shit today. Capcom can't release something like we're talking about the Final Fantasy VII remake, and how though it does have good voice acting, it's still like not up to par as far as what we were expecting. You know, standards are just so much higher. So if a big AAA company were to try and pull some shit like that for any reason, even if it was justified for people like us, they'd get torn apart. So like they have to evolve, and that sucks, and it changes, you know, the landscape, but it's unavoidable, unfortunately. But at least with things like Resident Evil 2, I feel like that's a good compromise, because at the end of the day, that game is survival horror. You know, they hit a lot of the marks. You know, the
Yeah.
trying to survive, the difficulty, the limited resources, like all that's there. All the old school elements, for the most part, with one or two of those gone because they had to, because necessity, because they had to evolve it to appeal for the modern audience. But I feel like that was a great compromise. And if we did more of that, I think that'd be a fair common ground to land on, rather than just, oh, we're going to be first person and Five Nights at Freddy's and meh. You know?
Sorry. Sorry.
Don't die.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in a shitty place, but I feel like it does have the potential to hit that middle ground with games like Resident Evil 2 and then Resident Evil 3 remake, and I don't know if it's a great example, but like things like Remothered that are kind of Clock Tower-ish, and like that's getting a new sequel. And what was that game? Daymare 1998, which is an indie game, so it's not going to be super polished or anything, but like it's got decent graphics and it plays similar to like what Resident Evil 2 remake plays like. So it's like and that's getting a physical release, so it's going to be more mainstream. So if we continue to kind of live in that area, that middle ground area, I'd be satisfied with that. I feel like that's a fair compromise. But I don't want to see that die, because if that goes away, then I will be kind of meh about survival horror, and I don't want that to happen because it is my favorite genre. But there's hope. There's a little bit of hope. Maybe it can hang on for a little while longer. We'll see.
Genre.
All right, here's a question then. You're on a deserted island, and
Resident Evil 1 remake.
Okay. What other two games would you have?
Oh, was that actually a valid answer?
Yeah.
So the desert island, like how many or what games would you have?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any.
What?
There's no TV. What's the point?
Wow.
You got this super duper costume.
Super duper console.
Console.
It's got a
That
built-in
can play-
TV and game console in it.
Yeah, that can play any shit. So what do you bring?
So, survival horror specifically.
Yeah, since we're talking about it.
Wow. Yeah, Resident Evil 1 remake would definitely be one. Two more.
Death Stranding.
To get the fuck out of here. Probably Silent Hill 3. Resident Evil 2 remake, probably, just because it would give me the other side of that. It'd give me a little bit of the modern as well. And I do fucking love that game, as you know, even though you're a hater. Yeah, I'd probably do those three. That'd give me good variety and some of my favorites.
Okay, Jazz.
See, I don't know. It has to be survival horror.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I would probably. See, I say I'd probably bring Code Veronica, but I feel like I'd get sick of it real fast because I don't like playing the Chris part.
Oh, wow.
Might as well bring a game that I can play like start to finish.
Even though it's not survival horror, really, Resident Evil 6 would be a good choice just because the length and the variety.
Yeah. Revelations. I'd bring Revelations for sure.
That's
I'd only
good
bring
too with
Resident Evil
raid
6
mode.
if I had a friend with me.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
How long are we on this island for?
Forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so Resident Evil 3.
That's a long game right there.
Well, I'll have the time to play it a few times if I'm there forever. No, I don't know. Can I bring Plague's Tale?
No.
I know it's not survival horror, but
It's survival
there is
rats.
horror. It's spooky. It's got spooks in it.
Okay.
I'll sneak it in my backpack without telling you. That's all.
Oh, wow.
Sean will be like, "Pass me Resident Evil 3." I'd be like,
Yeah.
Oh no, someone
About
put a Plague's
that.
Tale in there.
Yeah, some. Oh, it must have
Darn
been
it.
Hugo put that in there. Bring Minecraft.
That's a survival game, not a survival horror game. Get out of here.
It's got zombies.
That would be like the ultimate game to take, though.
Play forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think okay, let's go. Resident Evil 6, Plague's Tale, cause shut up. And I'll get back to you with the last one.
You know, technically, you could even remove Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 from survival horror because Capcom themselves coined Resident Evil 6 as action horror, and technically, that started at Resident Evil 4, so technically 4, 5, and 6 are all action horror. So
It makes me mad.
yeah, it's kind of gross.
Okay, well, Revelations, Plague's Tale, and what other games do I own?
Remothered.
Hello?
Hello.
I haven't actually played that game completely though.
What are you doing?
Remember, I was like hiding somewhere and then I got mad, so I stopped playing. As I do with most games.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one. Like, fuck it. Can I just bring one of the Tomb Raiders?
Oh my god.
It's survival. Hey, shut up.
For the sake of moving on, sure. Why not?
What about you, Alec?
Obscure, Dino Crisis, and
Metal Gear Solid.
no, Resident
Survive.
Resident Evil Outbreak.
Mm.
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 Those are some interesting ass choices.
Yes.
Obscure. I like Obscure, but I don't know. Really?
Well, I would have Obscure because it's something I haven't played that much, compared to, Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
fair.
good to have a different perspective.
But what if it turns out you hate it because you haven't played much of it?
Nah. Then you grow to love it because you're stuck.
Because you have to.
It's like
Either
a
that or you
baby.
get a coconut and smash the shit out of it. But
Wow. You play frisbee with the disc.
yeah.
There you go.
Throw it at Sean and steal one of his games.
Wow.
Assuming we're on the same island with the same super console.
Well, yeah.
Super console suit.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for Alex Game Corner.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I want to play a riddle game.
Cheers.
What?
Is it legal for a man in Raccoon City to marry his widow's sister?
What are we playing?
Riddle. Riddle my
Okay.
name.
Didn't you hear
Okay.
the intro, kind of?
No, I heard brrr, and then I kind of took my headphone off my ear.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
game we played last week.
Okay.
So, is it legal for a man in Raccoon City to marry his widow's sister?
Because he's dead.
Yeah, you're right.
Although in
it-
Raccoon City, that could alter the answer.
I
The
just have
zombies have rights too.
Do they?
to...
Shh. What are you, a zombie?
Wow.
Are you a knack?
Shawnee,
Hello.
how far can a zombie dog run into the woods?
I don't fucking know. 4 feet?
Is that your answer,
'Cause he has
Jazz? You're
4
looking.
feet. I don't know.
Okay.
What? The answer?
Yeah, did you
Pretty
want to
sure
give
it's like all the way into the woods.
You're good at this. So yeah, the dog can
What?
run into the woods only to the half of the wood
Why?
because it's into the woods.
If he runs further, he's leaving the woods.
Yeah, you gotta go into the center of the woods.
I feel like we just had like a freaking Monty Python and the Holy Grail moment. I had like a what's your favorite color, and Sean just had the fucking like speed velocity of some
A
garbage shit.
swallow?
Yeah,
All right,
that
let's give Shawnee a easier question then.
was pretty easy.
Wow. I can't do these, okay?
It was so easy, even
we're
I got
we're
it.
retiring this game after this. Fuck this
Wow.
game.
Sure.
Uh,
If there are 3 apples and Jake takes away 2, how many does Jake have?
2?
Yes!
That was just math.
Good! Do you know why? Because he took the 2 away. Well done. Told it would be easier.
And we called those subtractions.
Was it? Okay.
Now I'm gonna regret saying they're too easy.
Okay, Jazz, your final one then.
Mm,
Other than a decapitated zombie, what has a neck but no head?
what? In,
Other than a decapitated zombie, what has a neck but no head?
another decapitated zombie. I was gonna say Leon because he can't get.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
The answer is a bottle.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like a zombie thing.
No.
I fucking hate this game.
Welcome to the last edition of the riddles game.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted.
That's what you said last week, and I brought it again this week.
Oh, I'm editing it out of the podcast.
Edit out my ass.
Wow.
Wow. Maybe I will.
Took a turn.
Took a straight.
Took a dump.
Took a
It took a dump on
took
the
a poo poo.
games.
Took a pee pee.
Speaking of, shut up. Speaking of bringing things back,
Yeah.
how about
Read your comments.
Ta-da! I don't know why I said that.
you can edit that out and replace it with the.
No, leave it. Leave it.
Oh no.
Okay. So, Danielle Wolf from Wardcast 70 commented,
Cool.
"This is awesome." Question: Are you doing an RE2 remake parody?
I'm not making fun. I just like the name. That's all I can think every time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello.
The comment is, "This is awesome." Question: Are you doing an RE2 remake parody?
Yes.
So-
I feel like I've answered this,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yes.
not this like specific person asking. Just in general, you have mentioned it.
Oh, there we go. Then try it again. Danielle Wolf is a regular commenter, so I had to bring this up.
Yeah, shout
All right.
We love you, Danielle.
Yeah.
out.
Wolves are cool.
We
It's gonna sound like I'm
appreciate you.
making fun
That sounded
of her, but
very.
really-
That sounded
I'm really
very.
not.
It sounded very. Yeah.
You know what? You know what? She comments. So, yeah. I bet she reads the credits too.
There's no proof of that, but if you do watch the credits, let us know in the comments,
And we'll read it.
and we will read it.
Fuck.
All right. So, is anyone? Did you guys think of an RE2 remake? Yes or no?
What?
What about a remake? What?
Have you thought of an RE2 remake parody at all?
Yes, and that's about all. I've thought of doing one. I plan on doing one. Have I begun? Do I have story ideas and whatnot? No, I do not, because I need to finish season 1 of Duel first and start up season 2 to see like where that's going, to determine like what I want to do with 2, because it's getting complicated, because since I have so many Resident Evil parodies, it's like there's RCS, there's fucking Days season 1 that's RE4, and then season 2 that's RE5, and it's like, do I want all these to connect? Do I want to do something different with Remake 2? I don't know, because there's so many different things that I could do. I could make it a prequel, I could make it a spin-off, I could make it something different, I could tie it to RCS. So I definitely want to do something with it, but I have no idea how I want to approach it yet. So I wanted to have already worked that out by now, because that game came out over a year ago at this point. But yeah, I gotta finish episode 13 first before I even consider looking at that and seeing what that looks like. But it's in the plans. I want to do something with it. I just don't know what yet.
Okay. So last question for that is, at what point did you start coming up with stupid ideas with RE2 Remake? Did you play the game first, complete this game first, and then come up with stupid ideas, or were they just coming as you were playing?
But I haven't started writing anything for RE2 Remake.
Yeah, but did you get any stupid ideas when you were playing the game?
Not as many as I would have thought I would. I mean, there's a couple things I thought could be funny, but they're just like small one-off jokes. Nothing like concrete story-wise. I mean, had that happen, I probably would have been further along than I am, because I probably would have taken whatever ideas that I had come up with and pulled up a text document and started kind of fleshing that out a little bit, and then therefore it would have been started. But yeah, that just, I don't know, nothing really jumped out at me particularly from a story perspective.
Okay. Right, move on to the last commenter then. Epic Yoshi. There's a bunch of X's at the start and end, so X, Epic, X, Yoshi, X. Alright.
There's only 3 X's. I was expecting like 30.
Right, Epic Yoshi, rename your YouTube channel. You need 30 X's in there. Need to break some hearts. Right, anyway, so the comic, it comes from the Resident Evil E Revelations episode 3.
Ooh.
What's that?
Wow.
Who knows?
Some stupid bullshit.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
Right, so Epic says, "Oh my, I just finished the game on Steam." Laughy smiley face. So question 1. Which platform did you first complete RE Revelations? 3DS, PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, Steam?
3DS.
Jesus. Me too.
Yeah, because that's the first platform it was on.
Yeah. That's why I bought my 3DS.
Actually, I bought mine for... actually, I didn't even buy one, so I wasn't into like the handheld stuff, right? And then I went to a convention with Jen, and she had her 3DS, and she had Revelations. And I was like, isn't that game stupid? And she was like, no, I really love it. So I was like, okay. And she let me try it in the hotel room, and I got super into it. And then the whole drive back to town, because we were in Montreal, it's like a 3-hour drive. So straight up played it in the car, had to fight against the sunlight, tried to get as much as I could. And then she's like, you can borrow it if you want to finish the game. So I'm like, oh my God. So I was like playing it on the bus to work with headphones, and I was like jumping and freaking out, like, this is amazing. So then when my birthday rolled around, I was like, Mom, I want a 3DS and I want this game. And she's like, okay. I'm like, so I need the Circle Pad Pro. And she's like, okay. Which is what I got for my birthday. And then I never fucking put it down. It was great. But it's Jen. It's thanks to Jen that I played it. Who told me it's not crap. Here, try it.
Okay. And you did the same, Sean? You got it on the 3DS when you first played it?
Yep. I was obviously following it since before it came out. Super excited for it. Bought my 3DS for it. And yeah, bought it on day 1. Played the shit out of it. Fucking loved it. It was great. I didn't get the Circle Pad Pro just because when it came out, they were really hard to get. I think because of that particular game. But yeah, they were sold out everywhere. And then by the time they were back in stock, I had already fucking beat it several times over. And I'm like, do I really want to spend what I think it was like $30 or $40 for that fucking thing? And I was for this one game, and I was just like, nah. I made it work without. I'm used to it. Fuck it. And then eventually it came to consoles anyway. So I mean, it worked out.
You know what's upsetting is that like I wasn't gonna play it. You said you were like following it from the start. I wasn't gonna play it because the trailer made it look so dumb, and then I was upset when I found out that it was nothing like the trailer, like that teaser they released with Chris and Jill aiming a gun at each other. I was like,
that sounds familiar.
Stupid. And it had nothing.
Yeah, what the fuck, Capcom? What are you guys doing? Like, they're just gonna tease some random fucking pointless two main characters pointing guns at each other bullshit that either isn't in the game or has no fucking importance to the story whatsoever. What the fuck is going on over there?
Yeah, so that. I think that was the main reason I didn't try it. But
to be fair though, that story is pretty fucking. It's.
Yeah, but because of that stupid trailer, where there was almost no irrelevations. Because if I had never tried the game, I never would have been like, "Hey, machinima out of this."
Yeah, and to put things into perspective, they removed a scene of Leon, Jesus Christ, Chris and Jill pointing guns at each other. They removed that in favor of a fucking Chris dummy mannequin losing his head. Like, was that a good trade-off? You tell me.
You added some very hilarious sounds to that.
Where did they get that fucking mannequin? Who made that?
It was Wesker, like a long time ago. It was his sex doll.
Oh, no. Chris! God damn it. How did it end up on the fucking Xenobier?
I'm crying.
Okay, just to answer my question on that one, it would be I first played it on 360.
Oh wow, you were late to the party.
Yeah, because
that's understandable.
I didn't want to get a console just for that one fucking game. I was just like, yeah, no, fuck, just wait for it to come out.
I'm glad they fixed it since then too.
Because
when they first released, because I also got it like on the 360, I was like, hey, I can play it without getting migraines.
I bought it on every time it was released. Yeah. I bought it.
Oh yeah, I have it on all the consoles I own. But it was just like, when they first released it to the Xbox, it was retarded. Like, you could tell that the mouth movement was for a little screen. So when you saw it like on a bigger screen, it was so robotic and broken. And super uncomfortable to watch. Okay, so
second question. What made you do a parody series on RE Nation?
I don't remember what sparked that. There must have been like this one joke, but I can't. I think it was just the fact that I used to like run around and talk shit about the dudes on the boat, and then make them talk back to me. And I guess at one point I just decided, like, you know, everybody was making machinima and I wanted to make machinima, but I didn't have like the program and the software to record old consoles. So I had to use something right off of the computer. And that's the one I had. I actually originally wrote a script for a whole episode of Resident Evil 6. And I don't know, I couldn't get a hold of the people to tell me if they wanted to do voices, so Revelations became the thing.
Okay.
I like that reason. It was the one thing I had on my PC.
Well,
yeah, one by default.
It was easy to go with, and I think when he pulls out the fucking gun, I was like, it's a gun computer, because I couldn't remember the name of the Genesis. So...
It could have... Oh, you know what? It should have been the Sega Genesis. No? Okay.
It's a Game Boy.
But it's called a Genesis. Fucking okay, it's fine.
I know.
I know.
No one knows what a Sega thing is anymore. It's just a Sonic thing.
You're right.
The Sonic box.
Sonic box, S box.
Okay, question 3. Would you like to see any of the new characters from RE Revelations come back in another game?
Like just like the miscellaneous side characters.
Yeah, like, Parker and the guy there with the ginger hair and everything.
Raymond.
Yeah, that dude.
I like his hair.
Um,
I would like to see Parker again. I talked shit about him for the longest time, but then I was like, you know what? He grew on me. Like he's my buddy now.
are we talking so like in like a main title, like a numbered title, or just in the game? I don't know, man. Like if it would have to be a smaller role. It couldn't be like a leading role for me. I feel like they would just have to be like a supportive character or
a cameo.
Yeah, cameo or something. I think that would be really cool, actually. But to see them take the driver's seat, I don't know. I don't think that would work.
Like they could do something like they did in 3, where like when you get rescued on the helicopter and Barry's driving.
Yeah, something like that. That would be great. Or when you're dealing with something like what?
Just have like Barry and Parker meet, and Jill's head explodes. Like what?
Like I feel like a setting like Resident Evil 6, where you've got a large cast of characters and a lot of things going on, and you're going to different cities and stuff. It's probably a bad example because we're talking about survival horror, but if they were, I feel like Resident Evil 6 could have actually been salvaged, and if they toned things down a little bit and reworked obviously how it played and stuff. I think something like that can actually work on that scale, just executed vastly different. But if you had a setting like that where it was huge and you did have a lot of roles to fill, a lot of characters, kind of peppering in those side characters or spin-off characters into the cities or the events that are happening in a large scale game like that, I think would be really cool. Like Parker could be like a contact or something in China or something kind of like that, where you see them for a little bit. Maybe they fight alongside you for a scenario or something. I think that would be really cool. But that's all. Yeah. Nothing beyond that. I do like those characters though.
So most of them.
Yeah.
I hated
What,
Jessica.
the two idiots.
Jessica.
Yes.
How
about
I wouldn't
you?
I wouldn't mind seeing Raymond and Jessica back at some point. So they could have come back with a different thing. I thought Jessica could have been a good, bad person, not
a good
not
bad
the
person.
It was though. That's what's frustrating. They made a Revelations 2, but the end of Revelations 1
I know.
made it
so fucking stupid.
Like,
and
you're
they're going to do the
expecting-
same fucking thing again when they do 3. Like 2 ended on a cliffhanger kind of thing too, and they're just going to completely ignore it. Just watch.
Yeah, but I mean, like 2 and 3, the story itself is already like basically done. Like it's been done and it's been followed. So, if it ends on a cliffhanger, like they can't really continue. I don't know. I don't know how to try to say. Like the end of 2 wouldn't really affect 3 because the games have already been made like a long time ago.
Huh?
Right? Like okay, like you said, they'll do the same thing with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So because like Resident Evil 3 is already a game, so they can't really change the story.
No, Revelations 3.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like because RE3 that's coming out.
No, that would be fucking horrible.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense because I was gonna say like, yeah, what? Just change the story.
It's dumb. It's like they just throw them away. Like 1 ended with that whole Raymond and Jessica thing, and then they're just like, forget that. Let's do this new thing. And then they ended that with the fucking Alex and what's her name? Natasha, Natalie. What the fuck is her name?
Hell yeah.
like those two, like that whole thing was going on, and then they're probably going to throw that away and do something completely different. Why? Why not just take Revelations and have a story arc across these games? They could have even made the two completely detached stories, but tie them together. Or like in the beginning, you could like wrap up what happened in one, or like build from that and implement that into two, and then move forward from there. Why the separation? It's even numbered.
What
it's
if
Revelations 2? What the
what
fuck?
if Revelations 2 was just like, because it was its own story, that they're planning a Revelations 3 with Claire and Jill as the two playable characters?
Never gonna happen.
Which one's going to hold the lights and point at things?
Claire. Jill's gonna be like, no, actually, the other way around. Claire won't
Wow.
give her a gun. Just fucking stupid.
And then the fucking villains will be Alex Wesker and fucking Jessica and
Chris.
Raymond, Chris. It'll be a group of bad guys.
Because you got Barry and Claire in the same game, and then you got fucking, well, Jill and Chris. I was thinking Leon for a sec too.
And at this point, can they even put Leon in one of those? Like, is it too late?
Yes.
Wow. So that would be a nice swap if they threw Leon into a Revelations and then they gave the numbered title to like Claire or somebody.
Yeah, Leon, here, babysit this president's daughter. I gotta go.
No. Okay, we had another survival horror conversation off of this derail. What was that? All the questions, comments?
Yeah, that was read your comments done.
Got it.
Comment, people. Then I might just read yours.
Read your
comment, ask us questions, do the things. We will answer them. It'll be great. It'll be beautiful. Is there a burning question you always wanted to ask? Like, when's episode 13 coming out? Don't ask that, but ask something else. Don't ask that either. There's no answer. The password is potato chips. This has been episode 76. As always, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We hope you had a great day, and if it's your birthday, happy birthday. If not, well, fuck you. But you can also have a good day too. It's okay. It's fine. We love you. If you love us, consider supporting us at patreon.com/thewordproductions. Help us be more awesomer. Those are words. Stay safe out there, everybody. Wear a hazmat suit, and we'll see you next week.